Welcome to another episode of That's a Good Question, where I answer your questions about business, about life, about whatever you got going on, about anything you want to ask me, I will answer. Now, last episode, I asked some of you, do you have questions for me? And then some of you actually did.
Wouldn't you know it?
So I guess I got to answer them. So here we go for this episode of That's a Good Question. First question comes in from Big Dog Sam Hewitt, who's asking, why don't I offer subscription or loyalty rewards programs for customer retention? So I don't offer subscription because my audience has protested it. So basically, a lot of women over 50 have been caught on these subscription programs for things that they can't cancel. And they really, as a community, do not like subscription-based products. Subscription-based products work much better for Gen Y and the millennials. They don't work that well for Gen X, but Gen Y and the millennials really understand. They grew up with the internet. They understand subscription. They're happy to be subscribed. They understand how to log in and modify their subscription and edit it. My customers are not that tech savvy. They want to call in on the phone. They want to talk to somebody, and they really don't like the idea of subscription. I don't sell subscription, and I still get people calling in, making sure they're not subscribed. I have offered it on my offer page. I've offered it as upsells to try to test it. I don't get a high take rate. People don't like it. So there's just like this general sense of anti-subscriptionness, not a real word, but
what the hell did you just say?
Anti-subscriptionness that my audience has. And I've tested it out. They don't really like it. So I don't do it. But even without subscription, I have a higher repeat customer rate than a lot of people who do have subscription, because I don't think you need subscription to increase your lifetime customer value or have a high repeat customer rate. I think you need good content marketing, product launches, sale events, things like that, giveaways, engagement content in between your sale events to keep your lifetime customer value and your repeat customer rate high. So that's why I don't do subscription. Now, loyalty is similar. I think loyalty programs are a really wonderful idea, again, for Gen X, millennials, Gen Z, even Gen Y, which is basically anyone under 45. Over 45, you don't have a lot of tech-savvy people. They didn't grow up with the internet. They're not used to technology in the same way that you take for granted your ability to interface with tech, to understand a loyalty program, to post it on your social media channels, to email it to friends. It's just not the same. So I've used things like FriendBuy, Talkable, Smile.io, and my audience does not. And yeah, I've got good marketing. I understand how to let someone know about a program that I am running. I really do. And my audience just doesn't really adopt it, right? It's like I spend more on the service than I make back in the referrals. So for me, it's really about the audience that I am serving with Boom. That is why I don't offer those things. I believe in subscription. Listen, Smart Marketer, the brand you're engaging with now, I've got a subscription called Team Traffic. And it's a monthly education program, continuing education for media buyers. If you're a media buyer, you buy traffic for a brand, there's no better ongoing training than that. It is the best thing in the market. It's an amazing program. Facebook group, videos, adsumer reports. I mean, it's incredible. And it's a subscription program. I have Blue Ribbon Mastermind subscription program. If you're a 7, 8, or 9-figure e-commerce business owner and you want to network and get together with and learn from and support and engage with other people who are walking that same path, there's no better group. And it's a subscription. For Zipify apps, the whole business is subscription. For Smart Marketer and Zipify, we are launching loyalty rewards programs. So I believe in those marketing channels, but those businesses, Smart Marketer and Zipify, are interfacing with Gen X and below, right? 45 and under. That's mostly who I interface with as my customers, and therefore those marketing strategies work. Next question, Big J Jensen, alliterative J Jensen, says, I sell t-shirts. What problems can I create content around? What problems can I solve to create content around? So he's alluding to this idea that you need to create content that's related to the problem that your product solves. I teach that idea. I teach the idea that the content that you put out as a brand should be related to the problems that your products are solving. So like, for example, I sell cosmetics to women over 50, so I create content like 5 makeup tips for women over 50, or how to do your entire makeup routine in 10 minutes, because I know that the problems that they have are that there's nobody who's got products specifically for them, or that they want their cosmetic routine to be faster, etc. Well, the way that you learn what content to create is you understand the motivation of your purchaser, of your prospect. What is motivating that person in the first place to buy? The beautiful thing about apparel is that it's the biggest category out there. The most money to be made is in the apparel category. The problem with apparel is that you have to carry all these SKUs and things are constantly going out of season and all this other kind of stuff. But if you're selling t-shirts, you got to understand the motivation behind an apparel buyer. And for the most part, the motivation behind apparel buyers is community and appearance. Here's what I mean by that. Appearance is a lot of people who buy apparel are buying it because they want to look cool. They want the latest trends. They want to look like their favorite influencers, celebrities, brand ambassadors, etc. They want to look like Kanye or The Rock or whoever, right? So one of it is to look cool, but another thing is to belong to communities. I buy jiu-jitsu clothing. There's a jiu-jitsu athlete named Edwin Najmi. He's a monster. He's Darson the world. He's awesome. And he is a brand ambassador for a company called Storm Kimonos. And they did a sweater that has a lightning bolt on the front and the back. Double turbo, like far more turbo than any clothes I ever wear. But number one, I like Edwin Najmi's jiu-jitsu game. Number two, I want to look like Edwin Najmi looks in that sweatshirt, right? I want to belong to the community. I want to have that look. And so I saw that and I was like, man, that's super cool. I like this guy. I like his game. I like what he stands for, and I'm going to buy his product. So I am buying that because my jiu-jitsu friends will see that and recognize the brand, and we can have a conversation about it. So it's about belonging to a community. And now the next question that's a good question. All right. This question comes in from an Amazon seller. I'm going to read it to you. Coming in from Priya Pandi on Instagram. Hey, hope you're well. I listened to your Helium 10 podcast, which was super interesting. Thank you. For someone starting out in e-commerce, would it be best to start with Amazon? First of all, thanks so much for listening to my podcast on Helium 10. Really wonderful Amazon sellers. Super fun episode. I talked about sumo. I talked about all kinds of fun stuff. And yeah, I think if you're getting started in your business now in e-commerce, there's no better way to start than on Amazon. Here's why. Amazon is both the shopping cart and the traffic source. If you're starting with your own site on Shopify, you have to build out the shopping cart. You have to build all the pages, the product pages, the Google Analytics, the Facebook pixels, the email marketing, the website, and then you got to go and get traffic to drive to that website. You got to go create ads, buy ads. Now, I think that's a better business model in the long run because one of the things about Amazon is you do not own the asset of the customer. Like, for example, if someone comes and buys from you on Amazon, that's Amazon's customer. You don't get the email address. You don't get to ship them things. That's not your customer. It's Amazon's customer.
That's really good.
So on Amazon, you don't get the customer asset, but you get the shopping cart built for you. You don't really have to do anything but set up a product listing and some shipping settings. And you get the traffic source, which is all of Amazon's traffic built in. And 50 cents out of every dollar spent online in America is spent on Amazon. So all the traffic is already there. So all you got to do is optimize your listing, do a few little product giveaway type deals to get some reviews, run some Amazon sponsored ads, and you're going to get sales going. It's much easier to launch on Amazon and get sales than it is to launch your own store and run ads and get sales. And so while Amazon is only cash flow, like you can't really think of it as an asset, because with Amazon, you're building your house on someone else's land. Amazon can come in and backdoor you. If you start doing well, they'll go to your supplier, try to make the product themselves and put it out as Amazon product, right? They're going to try to backdoor you to your supplier as you get successful. It happened to me several times on Amazon. Luckily, I was my own supplier because I was manufacturing. And so I would not sell to Amazon, but they tried that. People can negatively review you. They can attack your listing. People can hijack your listing. People can do all kinds of intense stuff to make it harder for you. And when you are successful, that's just cash flow. In as much as, yes, you can sell your Amazon listing and the sales it is getting, but the multiple you will receive when you're selling a business, you sell it for a multiple of the yearly profit or a multiple of the yearly revenue. The multiple you receive for an Amazon business is between a 1 and 3 of the profit, generally, because it's just not as valuable as if you were to build your own website and run your own ads to your own store to sell your product. At that point, you're in control of the advertising. Any assets that are generated, pixeled audiences, email lists, customer databases, you own those. It's much, much better, and it's a much more valuable asset, and it's worth doing. But to start, launch on Amazon, do private label, so you're private labeling someone else's product. You're someone, you go to the farmer's market, someone's making a skin cream, you say, hey, I'd love to sell your skin cream on the internet. Can I put my own label on it, create my own brand around it? You create the product for me. I'll put it on Amazon. I'll do all the marketing for it. So you're building your own brand with your own brand value, right? Don't drop ship, private label, or manufacture your own product if you got a little bit more money. Put it on Amazon, build out your listing, get some reviews going, get some Amazon sponsored search ads going, get it ranking, make it some sales, and then any money that you make, take that and invest it in running ads to your own website. So start on Amazon, then move to your own website. The next question is actually more of a comment, and I'm going to hide this person's name because I don't want them to get flamed online. I'm actually going to look down at my computer and read this question. You'll actually see it right up here next to me, but I'm going to read it so that I can then respond. Ezra's. So apparently there's two of me. I guess, I don't know. I didn't see that the first time I read it. Ezra's. You are totally at the top of your game. Thank you, sir. I'm trying, I'm really trying. I question the foul language as it makes you look bad. For the record, I said bullshit in a past video. I said, that is bullshit. And I was talking about A players. I was saying that this idea that there's an A player and a B player is bullshit. There are only players, and then how much support, resource, motivation, how much they receive, how well they are educated, how well they are held accountable, how much you take care of them and invest in them. That's what there is. You can create an A player, was my point. So anyways, I said the word bullshit, which this person took offense to. Let's read the rest of the question. I think you offended the lady in the video. No, I did not offend the lady in the video. She's my COO. She uses that word more than I do. We don't necessarily always use it on video. We're not coming out. Look, I understand some people find profanity offensive, and one of the things that we are specifically doing is designing our content such that it's going to be palatable for all audiences, right? I'm not swearing all the time. I'm not swearing in every video. There are some influencers that's part of their whole game. That's what they do. They're constantly swearing and cursing. And I think, frankly, that's okay. I think express yourself and use whatever words you want to use to get your point across that you think will resonate with your audience. I use them to make points, right? Like I swear quite a bit, actually, in my daily dialogue, not as much as some people, but I definitely include swearing in my dialogue. Like I grew up swearing as a kid and as a young adult. It was not necessarily looked down upon in the community where I was raised, and then I used it. And so I still use curse words, but specifically in my video content, I understand that there's a large part of my audience who finds that some level of offensive, and I'm interested in having my content be super palatable and really resonate with all my viewers. So I use my curse words to make points, right? When I think something is bullshit, I'm going to tell you I think it's bullshit. I'm not just going to swear all crazy because I think that actually I can make my point more effectively with using words that describe what I'm trying to have come across, which are not always curse words, right? But sometimes there's room for that. Let me read the rest of the question. I think you offended the lady in the video. Don't lower yourself. Be professional. Hey, in the words of the Big Lebowski, that's just like your opinion, man.
Jesus.
You have the opinion that cursing lowers you, is not professional, is offensive to women in this case, which to some people, sure it is. But to the larger portion of my population who are watching my videos, maybe don't want me cussing at them all the time, but the occasional curse word when it needs to be said about something that is bullshit, you gotta have room for that. And frankly, what I find is that many folks, the ones who are attempting to comment and give me negative feedback, are also including censorship. They want to censor me in some way. They want to censor how I look. They want me to take down my man bun. They want me to censor how I talk. And this is the internet. This is live from the internet. If you want to censor something, go censor it on cable television where they're going to allow you to censor shit. I'm not going to go for censorship, right? I'm going to take a look at my audience, look at the goal that I have in mind, which is in this case to inspire people, to help them, to show them how I'm doing things, to motivate them to do better in their life and business, to add value to their life. And if your response to that is to attempt to censor me because you don't find what I am doing to be valuable to you, then look, man, you're not my mark. You're not my customer. You're not somebody who's going to enjoy my show. My shows mostly don't have curse words in them. Sometimes they do, and I'm not going to stop doing that. And so I respect that you opened with, hey man, you're at the top of your game. Like the way that you did this was actually very cool, right? You said you were expressing your viewpoint, which I'm open to. I'm open to the feedback. I don't want you to not tell me what you think. In fact, I care so much about what you think that I'm responding to this publicly. I want you viewers to give me feedback, to tell me how I can make my content better, how I can make my courses better, how I can make the experience that you have engaging with me more fun, more pleasurable, more valuable to your life, right? I'm into that. So I'm looking for feedback. And sometimes I'm not going to take the feedback, like in this case. But I think that the way that you went about it was actually cool. You said, hey, Ezra's, you're totally on top of your game. I question the foul language as it makes you look bad. I think you offended the lady in the video. Don't lower yourself, be professional. So that's your opinion that, the way that you've approached this, super respect, was not mean-spirited, was not angry, was just like, hey, dude, you don't realize that the shit that you're doing is offending people and you could do better, was your viewpoint. And your communication to me was that maybe I didn't understand or didn't realize the effect I was having on my audience, and you were trying to hit me to that. And I think that that was actually a really nice thing to do, a really loving thing to do. And just for the record, I did understand the communication I was making and the effect it might have on some audience members, and I still felt it was appropriate. So I will continue to swear here and there where it makes sense. And thank you for the feedback. And, I'm interested. This might totally backfire on me, but I'm interested. Do you think it's okay to swear in videos? Or are you against profanity on all levels and you think it lowers you, it makes you look unprofessional? I don't actually know I think the criticism against profanity is that it's not spreading a positive message, or it's not, that you could use better words to get your point across, which in this case, I actually don't think I could have. I think I get my point across exactly what I wanted to communicate was that word. Or maybe, I don't know, it's bad for children or something. Maybe, those of you who are on the never swear train, give me the feedback of why you should never swear. And those of you that don't care or are not offended by it, endorse this message and tell me that you're not offended by it, or that, or why you don't think it's offensive and you think it's cool, or it's cool to do here and there, or you wouldn't want, that the amount of it that I'm doing is the right amount. I'm actually interested. So let's have a dialogue here about whether or not it's okay to swear in videos. And that'll do it for this week's episode, or this season's episode. We don't do this every week. That's a good question. Thanks for your questions. I would love to answer more questions for you about business, about life, about community, about relationships, about jiu-jitsu, about anything that you want to ask me about, advertising, video making, whatever, anything you're interested in. I very much enjoy the opportunity to engage directly with my fans, my followers, folks who are getting value out of this, answer any questions you might have. I can't get to all of them, but I would love, just post under this video any question you have. And even better, shoot a video on your iPhone. And look at the camera and say, what's up, Ez? Love the show. If you don't love the show, don't say that. I have this question for you. And then I will play that video on this segment. I'll play the video and then I'll respond to you. It's way better, way more dynamic, way more interactive. I get to see you. I get to hear from you. I get a sense of who you are. So shoot me a video. Email it to Ezra, E-Z-R-A, at smartmarketer.com. I'll put that on the screen here. Send the email, Ezra@smartmarketer.com, with the subject line, "That's a good question," and I will respond to all the video. If you send a video in, I'm going to respond to you. The folks who are just typing, I want you to, if it's easier for you to just type your question underneath this video, that works too. I'll take it, but I may not get to all those. The people who send in videos, I'm going to get to those. So send me a video. Say what's going on, how you doing, tell me what you like about the show, how you doing. In joke from when I used to be Johnny, how you doing? Yeah, I'd love to get your questions and use them here on this segment called That's a Good Question. Thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next episode.